Good morning, students. This is our chemistry class, chapter 1, chemical reaction and equation. Last two videos, fourth and fifth, we have studied about different types of chemical reaction. We have studied two types of chemical reaction in our previous video. These are combination reaction and decomposition reaction. What do you mean by combination reaction? You have studied earlier. Combination reactions are those reactions in which two or more than two elements combine together and form a single product AB. A plus B, it gives AB. Second type of reaction is decomposition reaction. Decomposition reactions are those reactions in which a big compound breaks down into smaller ones. AB, how they can be expressed? AB, it gives A and B. So we can say decomposition reactions are opposite of combination reaction. Now third type of reaction is displacement reaction. What do you mean by displacement? Displacement, जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, displacement means एक की जगह दूसरे का आना. That is called displacement reaction. What do you mean by displacement? How can you define displacement reaction? Displacement reactions are those reactions, this is a definition, those reactions in which a more reactive metal can displaces a less reactive metal from its salt solution is called displacement reaction. How displacement reaction can be expressed? A plus BC, it gives AC plus B. What does it mean? A is a more reactive metal, B is a less reactive metal, and BC is the salt solution of less reactive metal. What happened in this reaction? In this reaction, A displaces B from its salt solution and form a new substance, AC and B. This is called displacement reaction. Now, what do you mean by more reactive and less reactive metal? More reactive metal, there are 85 metals in our periodic table. Periodic table आप लोग नेक्स्ट ईयर नेक्स्ट चैप्टर जो है 5th चैप्टर है उसमें आप पढ़ेंगे periodic table. But first, more reactive and less reactive metal. You have studied earlier that more reactive metal and less reactive metals are placed in a series called reactivity series. How will you define reactivity series? Reactivity series is a series of metal, or you can say vertical arrangement of metals in which metals are arranged in decreasing order of reactivity is called reactivity series of metal. Vertical arrangement of metal. What does it mean? Ki the metal which is more reactive is placed at the top and the metal which is less reactive is placed at the bottom. There are so many metals in reactivity series, but in this series I have placed some important metals, such as in this series potassium is the most reactive and copper is the least reactive. कॉपर के बाद भी दो मेटल और हैं, सिल्वर एंड गोल्ड. तो दे आर अरेंज अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर डिक्रीजिंग reactivity. If we learn reactivity series, so we can easily observe that which metal can displace which metal. So there is one example of a displacement reaction. This is an example. In this reaction, iron reacts with copper sulfate and form iron sulfate and copper. What happened in this reaction? We can see easily in reactivity series that iron is above copper in reactivity series. What happened? Iron is more reactive than copper, so it can displace copper from its salt solution copper sulfate and form a new substance, iron sulfate and copper. You can easily understand this reaction with an activity. You can imagine the activity. First, we take a copper sulfate solution in a beaker. The color of copper sulfate solution is blue. Now we put some iron nails which are new and having grey color. are put in blue colored copper sulfate solution. After some time, after half an hour, we observe that the blue color of copper sulfate solution changes to green and there is a brown coating is deposited on iron nail. Why this happen? This happen because iron being more reactive displaces copper from copper sulfate, less reactive copper from copper sulfate and form a new substance ferrous sulfate and copper. This is a best example of displacement reaction. We can take one more example. What happened in this reaction? Second reaction, zinc. It is white in color or you can say gray in color and it is put in green colored ferrous sulfate solution. We observed after some time, after half an hour, we observed that green color iron sulfate changes to colorless and a brown coating is deposited on iron. This is of on zinc. This is of iron. So this is double displacement. This is displacement reaction. There are two examples of displacement reaction.